On Saturday night, Stage 1 of the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix kicked off at the Izod Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey. In the night's main event, Russian sensation Fedor Emelianenko hoped to rebound from his only submission loss when he faced Brazilian beast Antonio Bigfoot Silva. In the first round, both fighters seemed ready as Silva used his size and the former Pride champion used his speed in a back-and-forth slugfest. After a closely contested first, the ATT superpower got the fight to the canvas, where he relentlessly beat the Sambo champion with destructive ground and pound. After surviving what seemed to be a tight arm triangle, Fedor tried to lock up Silva's leg, but time had expired. In between rounds, the doctor was forced to intervene and the bout was stopped due to excessive damage done to Emelianenko's eye. In the biggest win of his career, Silva hands Fedor his second straight loss. Post-fight, the Russian legend hinted at possibly retiring from the sport. The former Elite XC champion had one thing to say when asked about his strategy for the rest of the tournament.
Acho que a única coisa que eu tenho que fazer é treinar muito, train hard.
Train hard.
In the night's co-main event, former UFC heavyweight kingpin Andrei Arlovski returned to action as he was paired with former Pride standout Sergei Haratonov. The Belarusian, who was riding a three-fight losing skid, came out aggressive, landing effective blows on the Russian slugger. After absorbing some heavy blows, Haratonov landed a shot that sent the Minsk native crashing to the floor. Arlovski tried to keep his composure, but the Pride veteran put the Jackson Winklejohn trained fighter to sleep with brutal shots straight to the jaw.
It's over! Haratonov treating Arlovski like Christina Aguilera treated the national anthem at last Sunday's Super Bowl.
With the thrilling KO victory, Haratonov advances to the semifinals of the Heavyweight Grand Prix. The former soldier is thankful to have a great team supporting him.
Я готовил все полностью.
Obviously, you know, as every fighter, I trained both on the ground and in stand-up. He's jiu-jitsu coach. He's John Olof, who's a world champion. He's a great jiu-jitsu coach. And as far as stand-up sparring partners, I mean, he comes from Golden Glory, so there's no shortage of high-caliber sparring partners within Golden Glory. It feels like it's a #1 team right now, so his preparation was great. He's trained in Thailand.
In a tournament reserve bout, undefeated Muay Thai fighter Shane Del Rosario met fellow statesman LeVar Big Johnson in a bout that guaranteed fireworks. Johnson came out looking for the KO and ate some kicks from the 27-year-old prospect. Johnson did secure the takedown, but it would be the Colin Oyama-trained Del Rosario who would get the mount later in the round. After dishing out some ground and pound, he switched to an arm lock, which forced Johnson to tap out at the 4:31 mark of the first round.
Oh, he's got him over. There it is. Del Rosario picks up his 11th consecutive win, third via submission.
Del Rosario was happy with his performance after a 7-month layoff.
When you take some time off, you know, you get out of the swing of things, you know. And in 2010 or 2009, I had like 4 or 5 fights. You know, you kind of get on a roll and you kind of just go with things. And you know, last year I only fought once, so I was a little nervous, a little bit, you know, coming back to the stage and being on, you know, a big regular Strikeforce card. But I think I did well. I mean, my training camp was great. You know, I was 100%, no injuries, and you know, I'm looking forward to move on and at least get 4 more fights this year.
In an exciting slugfest, Chad Griggs squared off against John Bolante in another tournament reserve bout. After some wild exchanges, including head kicks and big haymakers, Griggs came out on top as he ended Volante's night with a barrage of punches at 2:49 of round 1.
Chad Gravedigger Griggs continues his assault on the Strikeforce roster.
Fresh off of a win over former pro wrestling star Bobby Lashley, Griggs improves to 2-0 under the Strikeforce banner.
This was a really important fight for me just because my opponent, this was his first Strikeforce fight. You know, he's not very well known, and you know, so that just makes it that much more important for me coming off of a big win to come in there and stand out and, you know, blow him out of the water. So, you know, I knew that that was the case. I knew that I had to have a good performance with this in order to, you know, be considered for the heavyweight tournament and get another tough opponent. So, you know, and I think everybody's happy with it. I think, you know, the fans were happy, and I think I did what I wanted to accomplish.
In the opening main card bout, K1 star Ray Sefo battled the well-traveled Dutchman Valentine Overing. After a brief feeling out process on their feet, Overing took the fight to the ground and locked in a neck crank, which forced the Extreme Couture product to give up, only 137 into the first round.
Wow! Lightning quick submission win.
The 34-year-old was willing to stand and trade, but saw an opening, and he capitalized.
I didn't underestimate his ground skills, but I just wanted to see how I could do standing up, you know, and I think it wasn't too bad. But then, you know, wanted to be sure, and I saw a possibility, so I went to the floor.
The heavyweights provided fight fans with a night of exciting finishes as Haratonov and Silva advanced to the semifinals. The second leg of the tournament is set for April 9th at a location to be determined.